Hello students, we are back on the video lecture for thermodynamics. Okay. In the previous lecture we were up to enthalpy changes of phase transitions. As in discussion we completed, there are different 6 types of phase transitions involving 3 distinct physical states of matter, solid, liquid and gases, and the transition was from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, solid to gas directly, and then gas to liquid, liquid to solid and gas to solid directly. In all, 6 different types of phase transition processes are there, which involves melting, fusion, then vaporization, then condensation, solidification, sublimation and reverse sublimation. We suggested that whenever enthalpy change for a phase transition is measured, it should be measured at constant temperature and pressure and always defined for 1 mole of substance. So, it should be measured for a 1 mole. Why we specify the amount? The reason is enthalpy is an extensive property and that depends on amount. So, we need to specify, fix the amount. Why we measure at constant temperature and pressure? Because any phase transition involve absorption or release of heat for a very long time. Actual phase transition begins from a certain characteristics physical property of that matter, which is commonly melting point or a boiling point of substance. From there, actually the physical state conversion begins. So, we measure it at certain constant temperature and constant pressure values. This all we conducted in the previous lecture. Now, in present lecture we are going to continue with some more enthalpy changes which are somehow related to atomic and molecular changes. So, in that sequence we will begin with enthalpy of ionization, which is a common periodic function. We used it many times before. Now, we will see what is its actual definition, how it is measured. So, enthalpy of ionization. Enthalpy of ionization denoted as delta ion H. If we represent ionization process for any material substance, then the process of ionization must begin from gaseous state of that substance. Now, whatever its elemental state is, that is irrelevant. For example, we are about to find out or we are about to remove electron from a neutral sodium. We know that sodium is a metallic material and metal commonly exists in a solid state. So, sodium solid. We begin to remove the electron. It is converted to Na plus. Now, this Na plus will be gaseous by loss of 1 mole of electron. 1 mole electron. Can we remove the electron from sodium when it is in a solid state? That is the first question. Second, can we represent this change as Na solid converted to Na plus solid? 2 of the questions are there. So, both are not possible. Both the conventions are faulty. We can't remove electron from sodium when sodium is in solid state. Why? Because when sodium is in a solid state, it is firmly attached with many other sodium particles through electron C model, metallic bond. And this metallic bond structure of sodium do not allow the electron to remove from the surface. That is not possible. Then what we need to do? We need to isolate the sodium from surrounding all the sodium atoms. We need to separate it, make it free from all type of interacting forces. So, when we get an isolated sodium which has no influence of any other sodium or any other particle, that simply means we get the sodium atom with a negligible or zero interacting forces around it, and that physical state stand for a gaseous. What generally a gas is? These are the particles which shows zero interacting forces. These are the particles in which negligible interacting forces are there. So, when we consider a sodium is an atom which has a zero interacting force with the neighboring particle, then the sodium is present in its gaseous state. So, whenever we start to remove the electron from sodium, we have to convert the solid sodium into gaseous sodium, first thing. Now, in a gaseous state, we require 1 mole of sodium to remove their electron. 1 mole of gaseous sodium will convert into 1 mole of gaseous Na plus ion by loss of 1 mole of electron. This corresponding enthalpy change in which 1 mole of neutral gaseous atom is converted into 1 mole of gaseous ions or a cation by loss of 1 mole electron, that corresponding enthalpy change is called as enthalpy of ionization. Let us revise it. Enthalpy change accompanying removal of 1 mole of electron from 1 mole of isolated gaseous atom to convert them into cation. 1 mole isolated gaseous atom converted to 1 mole of gaseous cations by loss of 1 mole of electron, then the enthalpy change accompanying the process is called as enthalpy of ionization. So, how many things we restricted here? We restricted 3 things. What those 3 things are? Whatever the substrate we are having for ionization, that should be in a gaseous state. The substrate should be isolated gaseous atom and by amount they should be 1 mole. Third, we will remove the electron from each isolated atom and the total removed electrons will be 1 mole only. When we remove 1 mole of electron from isolated gaseous atom of a certain element to convert it into gaseous cations, that corresponding enthalpy change is called as enthalpy of ionization. Now, because it is measured for 1 mole, this will also be expressed in kilojoule per mole, and when we expressed it for a per mole, this also becomes a intensive property. Independent of the amount, characteristics property of an element we can say. So, the enthalpy change accompanying removal of 1 mole of electron from a neutral isolated gaseous atom to convert it into gaseous cations is called as enthalpy of ionization. Okay. To represent the process, we will start with gaseous atoms and then we will convert it into gaseous cation, and removed electron will be by amount 1 mole again. So, process begin with gaseous isolated atom by quantity 1 mole converted into gaseous cations by loss of 1 mole of electron. This corresponding enthalpy change is called enthalpy of ionization. Unit, it will be expressed in kilojoule per mole, and as a property this will be intensive. Sign for it. Now, removal of electron is there. Electron are under influence of attractive forces for the atom exerted by its nucleus. So, whenever we remove electron, we need to break the interacting force. Breaking of interacting force involves absorption of a heat, and whenever heat is absorbed by system, its a sign will be positive. So, enthalpy change for ionization is a positive value, It is defined for 1 mole substance expressed in kilojoule per mole, and as a thermodynamic property it is a intensive property. Clear? Now next to this process is a reverse process of electron addition. Here we removed electron to convert a neutral gaseous atom into its a gaseous cation. Sometimes we add the electron to neutral isolated gaseous atom to convert it into gaseous anion, and the corresponding process is called electron gain, and the enthalpy change is called enthalpy of electron gain. Enthalpy of electron gain is represented as delta EGH. Electron gain enthalpy or enthalpy of electron gain, one and same it is. Now what this process exactly is? It is addition of 1 mole of electron to isolated gaseous atom. Isolated 1 mole gaseous atom. To them we added 1 mole electron to convert them into gaseous anion by quantity again of 1 mole, and this corresponding enthalpy change is called electron gain enthalpy. Simple it is now. The enthalpy change accompanying a conversion of 1 mole of isolated gaseous atom into gaseous anions by addition of 1 mole of electron to each atom. 1 mole electron to given substrate amount, which is 1 mole, so it will be added to each atom. The corresponding enthalpy change is called electron gain enthalpy. Now when we move to the physical characters of it or some characteristics related to it, we can say electron gain enthalpy, this should be expressed in kilojoule per mole as an unit. Kilojoule per mole, because it is defined for 1 mole. Now when it is expressed in kilojoule per mole, this also becomes an intensive property. And importantly, when we relate the sign of it, here we are adding the electron to the substrate. Remember, addition of electron to the substrate is not always negative. It is not always exothermic, because sometimes the substrate favors to gain the electron. Sometimes the substrate do not accept the electron. Both the possibilities are there. When we remove electron, we have to remove the electron against the attractive force in all the elements. There is no choice where we can remove the electron by emission of energy. Everywhere we have to provide the energy. So in all cases, ionization enthalpy, this will be always positive without any exception to it. But when we comes to electron gain enthalpy, sometimes element do not favor addition of electron. To the such element, when we add electron, we have to add the electron forcefully. And whenever forcefully electron is added to certain material, we need to provide energy from external source. So as a convention, we can say this process involves absorption as well emission of heat. Both the possibilities are there, and because both the possibilities are there, the sign for electron gain enthalpy, in some cases it is positive, in common cases it is a negative. Generally तर ते निगेटिव्हच असतं, कारण इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन आपण त्यांच्यासाठीच स्टडी करतो ज्या एलिमेंटची टेंडन्सीज इलेक्ट्रॉन ॲक्सेप्ट करण्याची आहे. पण काही वेळा आपण अशा पण केसेसमध्ये इलेक्ट्रॉन ॲड करत असतो जिथं इलेक्ट्रॉन ॲक्सेप्ट करणं ही एलिमेंटची टेंडन्सी नाही. किंवा कधी कधी असं पण असतं की एलिमेंटची इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन करण्याची टेंडन्सी आहे, पण तो एकपेक्षा जास्त इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन करू शकतो. ऑक्सिजन सारखं एलिमेंट आहे, तो 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन करू शकतो फॉर अ कंप्लीट ऑक्टेट. So once the oxygen will convert into anion by addition of 1 mole of electron, this enthalpy change will be taken as electron gain enthalpy 1 or first for it. तर फर्स्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन गेन एन्थाल्पी निगेटिव्ह असेल कारण ऑक्सिजन रेडिली इलेक्ट्रॉन ॲक्सेप्ट करेन, त्याची स्टॅबिलिटी वाढेल. पण एकदा इलेक्ट्रॉन ॲक्सेप्ट केल्याच्या नंतर ऑक्सिजन निगेटिव्ह ॲनायनमध्ये कन्वर्ट होतो. anion is a negative and we are going to add electron to it which is also negative. So these negative start to repel each other, means oxygen negative now repel the incoming electron. Now to add the electron to same oxygen which is already negative, we have to provide the energy to the system, and because of that this second electron gain enthalpy which is denoted as a delta EgH2, this becomes a positive. First it was a negative but later it becomes positive. So both the possibilities are there as long the sign convention for electron gain is related. Clear? Okay. So two of the terms we have seen, enthalpy of ionization and enthalpy of electron gain. Okay. Now next to this, one more enthalpy change we would see which is related to molecular change. Okay. This we have seen in relation to atomic changes. Next to this we will relate with the enthalpy change which is for a molecule. In a molecular state, enthalpy of atomization is the term which is discussed in concern of molecule. Okay. So the third enthalpy change is enthalpy of atomization. It is denoted as delta atom H. Now first let us try to understand what is the process of atomization. What is mean by atomization? Now suppose we have a hydrogen gas in a molecular state as a H2. When we break all the H2 molecules from 1 mole of hydrogen, 1 mole of H2 gaseous involves a 1 mole of H2 unit. So 1 mole of H2 units are broken down into corresponding hydrogen atoms which by quantity will be 2 moles. Now that is not related how much amount of product is generated. We should have 1 mole of substance in a gaseous state, and from the 1 mole of any given substance in a gaseous state, we break that substance into its constituent atoms, and all of these atoms are neutral and in a gaseous state. So this process of converting 1 mole of gaseous molecule into its constituent gaseous atoms by rupture of all the bonds present in it, that total enthalpy change is called as enthalpy of atomization. Let us revise it. The process in which 1 mole of a substance in a gaseous state is broken down. It may be broken down into 2 mole atom, 3 mole, 4 mole atom, but whenever it is broken into its constituent atoms which all of them are in a gaseous state. So 1 mole substance in a gaseous state is completely broken down into its constituent atoms. They are again in a gaseous state. Then the corresponding enthalpy change is called enthalpy of atomization. Let us try to get it from one more example. Suppose we have methane as a substrate material. Methane in a gaseous state, by quantity we have 1 mole. This 1 mole of methane is cleaved into 1 mole of carbon gaseous plus 4 moles of hydrogen gaseous. 1 mole carbon atoms and 4 moles of hydrogen atoms are obtained on breaking of 1 mole gaseous methane. Then the enthalpy change for this cleavage is called as enthalpy of atomization. So from the process we can define it. It is the enthalpy change accompanying breaking of 1 mole of a gaseous substance into its constituent gaseous atoms. How many they are? Irrelevant. They may be 2, 3, 4 moles, some other moles also. 1 mole substance is broken down into constituent atoms which are in a neutral and gaseous state. Then the enthalpy change is called as enthalpy of atomization. One of a logical thing is, when we break methane, can we have a carbon gaseous atoms and hydrogen gaseous atoms? Practically no. Because when methane is broken down, we may get a soot of carbon, powdered carbon, which is in a solid state, and H2 as a gaseous unit. So cleavage of methane can be taken or written like methane gaseous is broken down, gaseous methane convert to carbon solid with release of 2H2 gaseous. This is a practical example. Possible it is. But atomization, converting into gaseous atom and converting into 4 moles of gaseous hydrogen atom. 4 moles of gaseous hydrogen atom will not exist separately, because when 1 mole of hydrogen, 1 mole H atoms are there, another 1 mole of H atoms are there, they will unite together to result 1 mole of H2 unit. So we would, from 4 moles of hydrogen gas, we will get 2 moles of H2 unit. As a product, we would never get atoms of it. We will get neutral elemental molecule. Getting? So the point is what? Process of atomization may be sometimes the real one, may be hypothetical. It is not necessary that reaction written for representing atomization of an element, molecule, should be the real one. Atomization process can be a hypothetical reaction. Mostly it is a hypothetical. Very rarely it is found to be correct reaction. Like a hydrogen, if we relate with 1 mole of Cl2 gas, then it is possible, or it is observed that 1 mole of Cl2 gas can be decomposed into 2 moles of Cl gaseous atoms, but they will not exist separately again, because chlorine has a very strong affinity for another chlorine. It readily combined to convert into Cl2. So this is also not a practical observable change, but sometimes it is possible to the little extent. But when we relate with the molecule as a methane, or sometimes let us say C6H6 is broken down, 1 mole of benzene is broken. According to atomization, we will get 6 moles of carbon gaseous plus 6 mole of hydrogen gaseous, and this is never possible. असं होणं शक्य नाही आहे. So process of atomization, sometimes it is real, sometimes it is a hypothetical one. So as a note, first we will clear it. What is enthalpy of atomization? It's a quite different term, so we would dictate this one. It is the enthalpy change accompanying cleavage or breaking 1 mole of gaseous molecules, 1 mole of gaseous molecules into gaseous atoms, into constituent gaseous neutral atoms. Enthalpy change accompanying this particular change is called enthalpy of atomization. Enthalpy of atomization, as long it is related with extensive and intensive nature, enthalpy of atomization, this should be intensive because it is expressed in kilojoule per mole. Defined for 1 mole of substance, so expressed in kilojoule per mole. As a thermodynamic property, it is a intensive property. Clear? And next thing, whenever we define enthalpy change, we define it for molecule in a gaseous phase, and from a molecule in a gaseous phase to obtain atoms in a gaseous state is not a practical change all the time. So as an change, enthalpy or process of atomization, it is sometimes real or hypothetical also. Commonly, process of atomization is considered to be imaginary or a hypothetical process. It is not observed. For example, if we consider atomization of ammonia gas, the product of atomization should be nitrogen gas and 3 mole hydrogen gas. N gaseous 3 times H gaseous are the product of cleavage of NH3. Whereas practically when we conduct a cleavage of ammonia, the valence state reaction becomes twice of NH3 gaseous. This decomposes into N2 gaseous plus 3 H2 gaseous. So this one is a real reaction which is commonly observed, whereas the first change is the atomization, which is not observed at all, hypothetical. Process of atomization is hypothetical, but defined amount of energy for it, this is a calculable value. We can have a numerical value for atomization. Even we can't conduct the process actually on experimental basis, we can measure how much energy is required for cleavage of molecule into corresponding neutral atoms. This is measurable. Characteristics of enthalpy, it is that enthalpy change for those processes which practically cannot be conducted is a measurable. हे एन्थाल्पीचं कॅरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आहे की असे काही प्रोसेस जे प्रॅक्टिकली कंडक्ट पण केले नाही जाऊ शकत, आपण त्यांच्यासाठीचं पण एन्थाल्पी चेंज मेजर करू शकतो. सो दिस इज एन्थाल्पी ऑफ ॲटमायझेशन which is measured for an hypothetical change which is practically not possible to conduct. Clear with it? Now next to enthalpy of atomization, we would move to one more term which is related to molecular state again, and that is a bond enthalpy. Now this is quite different from enthalpy of atomization. Now what that is, we would see one by one. So the last term in a molecular state is bond enthalpy. This is represented as enthalpy bond H. Now bond enthalpy is theoretically defined as it is the enthalpy change accompanying breaking of 1 mole of a particular covalent bond from gaseous state of a molecule. Is called a bond enthalpy. The enthalpy change accompanying breaking of 1 mole of a particular covalent bond from the gaseous state of that molecule is called as a bond enthalpy. Now in this case, we are not deciding how much amount of matter should be there used for measuring bond enthalpy. How much the substrate by amount should be, whether it is 1 mole, 2 mole, just a half mole, 1/3 mole, 1/3 mole, 1/4, that is not related. What related is whatever the process of breaking is conducted, in the process of breaking 1 mole of covalent bond should be broken. Okay. So now consider we are about to start a cleavage of a methane molecule, and on the cleavage we would result like carbon solid plus 2H2 gaseous, which is a real process. Now on the cleavage of methane we are breaking 4 moles of CH bond, because individual methane involve 4 CH bond. So for a complete rupture of 1 mole molecule, for a complete rupture of Avogadro number of a CH4 molecule, we are going to break all 4 bonds together.